Myself, Anil Kumar Mathur, lecturer in Inter Marwari College, Ranchi. Today, I will teach solid state. Solid state matter exists in three states: solid, liquid, and gas. Since the constituent particles are very closely packed in the solid state, they can only oscillate about their mean position. They are quite hard as well as rigid. The definition of solid: a substance is said to be in the solid state if its melting point is above the room temperature under atmospheric pressure. Now, general characteristics of solid state. First, solids are rigid and have definite shape. Second, solids maintain their volume independent of size and shape of the container in which they are placed. Third, solids are most incompressible. Fourth, solids have high density. All these properties clearly indicates that in the solid state of this substance, the constituent particles, that is atoms, molecules or ions, are very closely packed in space. When a solid is heated, the vibrational motion of the particles increases. This also results in an increase in the kinetic energy, which ultimately become large enough to overcome the binding forces in the particle. At this stage, the solid melts to form liquid. The temperature at which solid melts under normal pressure is known as melting point. The melting point of solid gives an idea of the magnitude of the interparticle force. Thus, higher the melting point, more will be the forces which bind the particles. Now we classification of solids. Solids are classified on the basis of two parameters. First, packing of constituent particles and forces of attraction among constituent particles. First, classification on the basis of packing of constituents in lattice are first crystalline solids, second amorphous solids. Crystalline solids, these are the solids in which the constituent particles, atoms, molecules or ions are arranged in a regular three-dimensional orderly arrangement which get repeated throughout. Hence, these are also known as long-range order. Second point, crystalline solids have sharp melting point. It means they change abruptly into liquid state at a fixed temperature. Third, their nature is anisotropic. It means a few of their physical properties such as mechanical strength, refractive index, electrical and thermal conductivity, etc. have different values when measured from different direction in the same crystals. Fourth, on cutting with a knife, they give sharp and smooth edge. Fifth, they are considered as true solid with characteristic enthalpy of fusion. Quartz, diamond, boron nitride have covalently bonded particles. In sodium chloride, zinc sulfide and cesium chloride, particles are connected by electrostatic forces of attraction, and in solid iodine and solid sulfur, particles have weak van der Waals forces of attraction among them. Second, amorphous solids. First, constituent particles are randomly scattered with no regular arrangement of particles. Therefore, they do not have any shape or form. Amorphous is the combination of two words. A means not, morphous means shape. Therefore, the meaning of amorphous means no form. That they do not have any definite shape or form. Second, if constituent particles are arranged in some orderly manner, then this arrangement does not continue for long distance. Hence, they are short range ordered solid. Third, they have diffuse melting point. It means they soften over a wide range of temperature instead of melting point at a particular temperature only. Fourth, they are isotropic by nature. It means due to random arrangement of particles throughout the values of physical properties such as refractive index, electrical and thermal conductivity will have same value in all directions. Fifth, they form diffuse and irregular edges when cut with a sharp knife. Sixth, they are called pseudo-solid or false solid or supercooled liquid as they have tendency to flow. They have no definite value of enthalpy of fusion. Rubber, glass, plastic are the commonly known as amorphous solids. Supercooled liquid. Like liquids, amorphous solids have tendency to flow. Hence, they are also called as pseudo-solid or super-cooled liquids. If we notice glass window pane of all building, we find them slightly thicker at the bottom than at the top. Hence, glass is also known as supercooled liquid. Supercooled liquid can flow slowly under their own weight and lose shape and can be easily distorted. Now, the difference between crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Crystalline solid have definite and regular arrangement of the constituent particles, whereas in amorphous solids do not have any regular arrangement of the constituent particles in space. Second, in crystalline solid, these are true solid, whereas amorphous solids are supercooled liquid or pseudo-solid. Third, crystalline solids have long order arrangement of particles, whereas amorphous solids have short range order of particles. Next point, crystalline solids are anisotropic in nature, whereas amorphous solids are isotropic in nature. Crystalline solids have sharp melting point, whereas amorphous solids have diffuse melting point. When crystalline solid is cut, then clean cleavage is observed, whereas amorphous solid is cut with a sharp knife, then undergo irregular cleavage. Crystalline solids have definite value of fusion, whereas amorphous solids do not have. Classification on the basis of nature of intermolecular forces. First, ionic solid, metallic solid, covalent solids and molecular solids. First, in ionic solids, there is a regular arrangement of positively and negatively charged ions throughout the solid, whereas ions are held together by strong Coulombic or electrostatic forces. These solids are very hard and brittle and have high melting point. In solid state, as ions are not free to move, hence they are insulators. But in molten state or in aqueous state, its ion become free to move and it become conductor. Ionic solids have high enthalpy of vaporization. They are soluble in polar solvent like water, but insoluble in nonpolar solvents such as benzene, carbon tetrachloride. Second, metallic solid. Metallic cores, that is kernels, and sea of mobile electrons are the constituents of metallic solid. Each metal atom contributes one or more electrons towards sea of electrons. These electrons are evenly spread out throughout the crystal, and weak forces of attraction or metallic bond binds together kernels and sea of electrons. Metallic crystals may be hard as well as soft, having moderate enthalpies of fusion. Mobile sea of electron is responsible for many properties of metals such as malleability, that is, can be beaten into thin sheet, and ductility, that is, can be drawn into wires. Metallic luster, thermal conductivity, and electrical conductivity. Uh, Examples are copper, iron, nickel, metal alloys. Third, covalent solids. In these, atoms are bonded together by covalent bond formation throughout the crystal. It means there is a continuous network of covalent bonds forming a giant three-dimensional structure or giant molecule. Covalent bonds are strong bond and directional in nature. These solids are very hard, brittle, and very high melting point. Due to absence of any free electrons or ions, they are insulators. Their enthalpies of fusion are very high. As for example, diamond, graphite, boron nitride, silicon carbide are common examples of these solids. Diamond. It has three-dimensional network of large number of sp3 hybridized carbon atoms, each bonded tetrahedrally to four more carbon atoms by single covalent bonds. It makes diamond extremely hard crystal with very high melting point, and its melting point is 3843 Kelvin. Diamond does not conduct electricity at all. Whereas graphite, each carbon atom is sp2 hybridized and covalently bonded together three other carbon atoms of same layer by single bonds, forming a layer of hexagonal rings at each carbon atom. The fourth electron is available free, which move among different layers and provide good electrical and thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity. Thermal conducting nature of graphite. Different layers connect by van der Waals forces. As forces are quite weak, the layers can slide over each other, and graphite soft lubricating solid. Now fourth is molecular solid. Their molecules are held together by dispersion forces, London forces, dipole forces, and hydrogen bonds. On the basis of types of interactive forces, these solids are classified as nonpolar molecular solid, polar molecular solid, and hydrogen bonded molecular solid. In nonpolar molecular solid, either atom, that is helium, neon, argon, or molecules hydrogen, iodine, and chlorine are bonded together by weak dispersion forces or London forces. These are non-Coulombic. These are non-conduction soft solid with low melting and low enthalpies of vaporization. They are volatile in nature, hence at room temperature and pressure they are available in liquid or gaseous state. As for example, iodine, solid hydrogen, and solid CO2, that is dry ice, naphthalene, camphor. Second is polar molecular solid. Polar covalent molecules are held together by strong dipole-dipole forces. They are soft, non-conducting solids with low melting point and boiling point. which are still higher than non-polar molecular solids. They are high in enthalpy of vaporization. Solid HCl, ammonia, and CO2. Third is hydrogen bonded molecular solid. Polar covalent molecules containing hydrogen atom as positive dipole and nitrogen, oxygen, and fluorine atoms are negative pole are held together by intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Under room temperature and pressure pressure condition, they are generally volatile liquids or soft solids and non-conductor of electricity. Example, ice. हो गया सर, देखो तो करता हूँ